Pressley Harvin III, 6 feet, 255.
He can change field position, that's for sure. He has a booming leg.
And this one is another boomer. That is straight up sorcery. 53 yards on the Harvin punt.
One of the top punters in the country, and that's exactly why right there.
The winner of the Ray Guy Award is Pressley Harvin III from Georgia Tech.
Looking forward to this interview. It's one of the most interesting men in ACC football right here. And he wins the Ray Guy Award. Guy's been booting that thing for the last couple years. Told you yesterday, Wes, I said the dude can kick, but I can't wait to ask him about throwing it because he can toss it too.
Well,
let's bring him on here.
Pressley Harvin III we're going to go through a lot of topics here with him. First of all, from right there off I-95 in South Carolina. Great to have you with us. Congratulations on all this, but maybe above all, in the 125-plus years of Georgia Tech football history pack, this is the third unanimous All-America, joining Calvin Johnson and Ken Swilling. So, Pressley, congratulations on that as much as anything else.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
All right, before we get to kicking, all right, I want to talk about throwing it, all right, because Durham had to call last year in the Miami game, and you're back there. Looks like going to be nice. We're going to cough and corner one in here, but you're going to show off the arm. All right, so before we talk about the leg, let's talk about the arm. Hey, you got this in the repertoire, man. Look how pure this is. I mean, right on the money.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of practice into that play. Nathan Contra, really, really good friend of mine. We drew it up for him earlier in the week, practiced it a good bit. Coach Collins put that play out there, and it definitely was a big play for the game, and it was definitely executed well by me and Nate.
Well, now wait a second. How many times did we rep it? Because Roddy Jones said it on the air with me. You threw a dime to Nathan Cottrell. You just didn't lunge it down the field. Most guys throw something that looks like, a bad Nerf ball. You threw a dime down the field.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of practice. I threw it to the specialist group on the sidelines just about every day in practice. Every time we got a team rep, tried to execute it well. And I did not realize that when he caught the ball at first. So I didn't start celebrating until I saw the ref put his hands up, and that's when I went crazy.
Man, that's pure right there. All right, let's get to what you really can do, man, and that is kick the football. When did you know you had that skill, that you could really kick?
Yeah, so I started out in middle school. I was definitely just raw, never had any coaching or anything. Then as soon as I got to high school, freshman year, matter of fact, I started getting coaching from Cole's Kicking. My mom took me under her wing. She was really my first kicking coach. And ever since that moment, it was something really, really big sparked in me, and I could definitely take this a long way.
When did you know your mom could kick?
Mom could never kick. A lot of people say, some people, they aren't good at it, but they definitely can coach it better. And she was definitely one of those.
Isn't that something? That's Mom always knows best. Mom always knows best, right? How about that?
Yeah.
So
man.
she is the secret sauce. That's what you're telling me.
Most definitely.
I love it.
Pressley, I remember when you signed with Georgia Tech, Paul Johnson said to me the spring after you signed, this guy's got a chance. He said what he's got is something that we don't see very often. And that's not only the power to drive the ball, but that you prided yourself, I guess, in high school, even to a point where you worked on accuracy, like numbers to sideline, hash marks to numbers, that kind of thing. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
So how big was that in hearing that from Coach Johnson and others, that you knew you were a valuable piece to maybe what Georgia Tech would want or anybody else who was trying to sign you?
Yeah, it was definitely valuable, especially knowing that the head coach that you're about to be a part of his team, sees what you can offer to the table. It was a big thing for me. And I definitely worked on that a lot in high school. I broke down every single type of punt that you could think of from every type of different yard line, every different situational kick. And I really practiced that majority of the time more than anything else, especially in practice when I was in high school. And when I got here, I had a really, really good coach here. His name was Tim McGrath. I believe he's now at Texas Tech. He definitely helped me along the way on all of those things and, definitely made me into the punter that I am today.
All right. I would assume, and I could be wrong, I would assume there's probably some correlation between golf and punting, right? It's like having a wedge, hitting a 60-yard wedge, 40-yard wedge, up and down, high, low. I mean, that's what punters do. It's all about field position. And this may be a goofy question, but are there stadiums, even though it's still 100 yards, the whole routine, are there stadiums that are better kicking stadiums than others?
Definitely are, especially this year. I got to play in a lot of different stadiums I never played in, like Florida State as well as Syracuse. And Bobby Dodd, the wind likes to swirl a little bit, but definitely when we went to Syracuse up in New York, that was definitely one of the best games I had, mostly probably because it was indoor and didn't have to worry about any wind.
All right, for non-domes, you said to Tallahassee, you're going to Florida State for the first time. Give me some stadiums that are problematic because of the structure, potential wind. Maybe it's the sun. I mean, it could be. Listen, it's like golf. To me, it's like a golf course. So give me ones that are problematic, that are different than what you're used to at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, so the two in Florida, especially Miami as well as Florida State's, both of those, we all know that Florida gets really, really hot. Both of those are definitely hot stadiums. But the wind there is really, really good if you have it in your back, but sometimes that wind likes to come forward too. Bobby Dodd is one of them also. Bobby Dodd is very known for having open sides. I think there's 3 corners that are actually open and only one that's closed, so what that does is make the wind a little bit swirl. North Carolina State's was very good too, even though it was kind of a chilly game. It was definitely a good stadium too.
So we had Jose Borregales on with us earlier. We were talking to him about the next step. What's the next step like for Pressley Harvin now?
Yeah, so next step is definitely, I already declared for the NFL draft and about to get in the process of going ahead and starting the training regimen. So I'll be doing a lot of kicking. I'll also still be at Tech to finish my degree this semester in business administration. So I have 10 credit hours left, and then I have all the afternoons down to devote all the way into kicking and trying to get to the next level.
All right. Now, I know one thing. Go ahead, Wes.
Let me add something here. I know there's 2 things that are they're points of pride. Someone shared a Facebook post from your mom yesterday with me last night that she talked about how proud she was not only of you winning the award, but one point of pride, you're the first African American to win the Ray Guy Award. That means something to you, and I also understand that it means something to punting peers of yours like Marquette King and guys like that. What have you heard from those guys who are black punters that went on to careers in the NFL? I've gotten to know Greg Coleman in Minnesota. I mean, I've got to believe that there are a lot of guys who've reached out to you in the last 24 hours along those lines.
Yeah, so right before I actually got on air, Marquette texted me and told me, congratulations, and it's only the next step from here, and, he'll see me on the next level. Him, as well as a guy named Destroying, played at UCF. Right. Very, very famous now in the YouTube scene, but, he's trying to make a comeback into the NFL too. I actually got to talk to Greg Coleman a little bit through Instagram as well as Rodney. I believe his last name
Williams?
Is Rodney Williams. Yeah, Rodney Williams. He also played here. He was African-American punter before me. So, all of those guys, definitely guys that paved the way for different routes of, black specialists. And, for me to be the first one to win a Ray Guy, it's definitely an honor, but I also know that I'm not the last one to win it.
Very cool. By the way, I know, just because I've seen enough pictures, you love a great car, don't you? I mean, you are a car dude, aren't you? I mean,
definitely.
All right. With that said, now I don't want to fast forward the clock because you got to live every day and you can get your degree, which is incredibly important too. But it's going to work out for you, my man, on the next level. And when you get that first check, I know you're going to take care of family and all that comes first. But if you got a little side change, what are we doing with the automobile?
Yeah, so a good friend of mine, his name is Josh Blancato, one of my gunners here. Really, really best friend of mine, and he has a C5 Corvette. I believe it's a 2001 or 2002. And man, I fell in love with that. I fell in love with that car, man, and he's putting a lot into it. And being able to see him do it off the field, and be with him every step of the way for that, I think I'm definitely going to get one of those too.
Nice.
Now wait a second. This car and Pressley, I worked for a day or two at Georgia Tech back in the day. So the red and black on the car, you kind of got to explain that now for people.
Yeah, so unfortunately it is red. I know Georgia Tech community definitely doesn't like that color. But that car started out with a little bit of red trim when I first got it back in high school, and just continued to build it along the way. And, I still got a GT sticker on there, so I hope the red doesn't count.
Okay.
If I have that on there.
No, you're good. You're
That's
good.
great.
You're good then. You're square.
You mentioned that you're 10 hours away, and this is always a traditional question on the show. At Georgia Tech, the hardest class you've had is what?
The hardest class I've had was definitely IT. Here in the business school, they definitely try to get you into different classes like finance, accounting, general management, operations, and supply chain, and also IT. So all of us know that tech is not an easy school. Even if you're a business major, it's definitely not an easy route. Unfortunately, IT didn't go my way the first couple of times. Had a little bumps in the road, but this past summer definitely got to be in that class, and definitely thankful now.
There you go. Well, listen, congratulations on all your hard work, and thank goodness for Mom, right? Because old Mom, she knows, man. That's a great story. Really a great story.
Yeah, man. Truly appreciate you guys for having me today.
All right, Pressley Harvin III, we wish you all the best. Look forward to watching you at the next level, and you were great to watch in the ACC at Georgia Tech. Stay healthy, my man, and be well. We look forward to having you back sometime soon. You bet.
Thank you.